Good day, Professor Kamm. My name is Aditya Simha, and today I'm going to be giving a presentation on why Activision Blizzard, otherwise known as the stock ATVI, is a buy. So here's some background information on the company. Activision Blizzard has 5 main operating units. It's Activision and Blizzard Entertainment, which are video game producers. King, which is a digital entertainment company that makes a lot of mobile games for the company. Major League Gaming, which is an esports league, and finally Activision Blizzard Studios, which makes cinematic films. Activision and Blizzard Entertainment actually merged over a decade ago in 2008, and they've produced some iconic games that have had lasting global and cultural impacts. As you can see, Activision made the Call of Duty franchise and the wildly popular Overwatch game, and Blizzard actually made the World of Warcraft series, and King made the Candy Crush Saga game. So looking at an overview of the industry, Activision Blizzard is part of the gaming industry, which houses competitors such as Electronic Arts, Nintendo, Ubisoft. And as you can see from these graphs and images, the video game industry has been experiencing rapid increases over the past decade. ATVI makes gaming devices and games for all types of platforms such as PC, mobile, tablet, console. And by 2020, this graphic shows that the video game market is expected to be worth at least $90 billion. And as an industry leader, ATVI stands to benefit greatly from this growth. And so here's a little glimpse at their share price graph over the past year. Now, in early October, they reached an all-time company high of about $83 a share. But then after that, they started to tumble towards the end of the new year and a little after the beginning of the new year. And they hit a low of about $40 a share in mid-February. And since then, they've started to make a little comeback and haven't really dropped lower than that. And so this begs the question, why did this happen? Well, back in October, the overall economy was kind of shaky and took a hit. And this really hit ATVI hard and slashed all the progress that they had made over the past year. And furthermore, after the market stabilized, investors were still not really confident in the company as they started to see a decline in monthly active users, otherwise known as MAUs, because ATVI was losing gamers to the popular game Fortnite. And so, even though, contrary to popular belief though, Activision has been responding quite proactively to these shortcomings. They're attempting to integrate various new initiatives into the company to fix these declining MAU problems and to grow the firm overall. By releasing revamped and remastered editions of their best-selling video games, moving into the esports genre, and doubling down on mobile gaming, these are all part of a restructuring process that is to better the company. And as a statement from the Activision company illustrates, they understood the areas that they lacked in 2018 and are using 2019 to reinforce the foundation for their future growth. And so the first initiative that they're employing focuses on their video game products to kind of draw back the gamers that they had been losing in recent years. Fortnite kind of broke the mold by introducing this battle royale concept where it's players playing against each other individually as opposed to the traditional, Activision and Blizzard games, which is players playing on a team together and then playing against other teams. But Activision saw this and they decided to kind of copy it, and you may think that they're kind of following in Fortnite's footsteps, but by implementing a similar game mode into their Call of Duty franchise, they were actually able to garner some gamers back. Furthermore, they're also trying to bring older gamers back to their franchise by making a World of Warcraft classic, which brings back all the old characters from the original game that was brought out about over a decade ago. In the esports arena, Activision acquired Major League Gaming some time ago, but recently launched the Overwatch League after their well-known game. And this is a major growth initiative for ATVI, as professional gaming and spectator content has taken off in the last couple of years. And as this graph on the right shows, Call of Duty is one of the more popular esports leagues. And this graph in the middle shows that esports revenue has been steadily increasing over the last decade and will continue to go way up in 2021. And this is great for Activision overall, which, as the CEO himself states, they see it as a tremendous opportunity to create value to the shareholders, and they've already achieved remarkable things. And finally, the final initiative is a play in the mobile gaming market, which they're already a part of with King Digital, but they are continually looking to expand. And one of the ways they're expanding is by partnering with Tencent Holdings in China which enables them to tap into the $15 billion mobile gaming market that China has. And so they also plan to bring a Call of Duty mobile series to the country, which, as the COO states himself, is bringing the biggest action franchise to the largest gaming market in the world. Furthermore, they can make even more money with ad monetization from mobile gaming. And with advancements in mobile processing power, Activision can connect with more franchises and even try out way more new ventures and introduce way more new games on mobile platforms. And as this graphic shows, the mobile gaming department has been extremely lucrative for them in 2018. And so overall, this company has a great outlook moving forward. And so now that we've covered the qualitative reasoning, let's look at why ATVI is a buy quantitatively. So on the left, you see the operating assumptions that I used for the DCF valuation, which I gathered from FactSet, and I forecasted the free cash flows to the firm from 2019 to 2023 on the right. I used an EV to EBITDA multiple calculation for this DCF, and I used a multiple of about 13 times, which is a slight adjustment from the FactSet's multiple of 13.1. And so using this multiple, I arrived at a stock price estimate of about 54. However, I felt that this assumption wasn't enough, and so I ran a sensitivity analysis that kind of looked at WACCs from 8.5% to 10.5% and EV to EBITDA multiples from 11 to 15. The reason I used an 8.5 to 10.5% WACC range was because when I looked at the industry averages for a weighted average cost of capital for companies such as the EA Sports or Nintendo, etc., none really went lower than 8.5% or higher than 10.5%. And as you can see here, I used the middle assumption at 9.5 to get that stock price estimate. And so running the sensitivity analysis, I got a stock price range of about 51.42 to 59.83. And finally, I used an EV to sales ratio for the competitors of Activision to kind of create this holistic target stock price for the company. And as you can see, the 2019 sales ratio is 47.57 to 50.93, and the 2020 is 52.14 to 55.87. And combining all these three, I arrived at a target stock price of 54.76, which means I recommend a buy rating for this stock. And finally, to conclude, I leave you with some more reasoning as to why to buy this stock. Activision Blizzard is an industry leader that is still very profitable, and they are able to sustain a competitive advantage over their competitors, and they still generate very high revenues. And by incorporating these advanced initiatives that I discussed earlier, they will be able to continually grow the company. Furthermore, with the potential upside of about 16%, the target price of 54.76 is above the current price of 47.29, which means the stock is undervalued, so Activision is a buy. And finally, a large firm such as Activision Blizzard, you have to think that they're smart enough and self-aware enough to understand their mistakes, learn from them, and adapt accordingly, and hence recover. Now, they may not reach their all-time high again of $84, but that doesn't mean that their stock still won't increase in the meantime. And this is my ending slide, which I assure that I worked on this presentation 100% independently. And I just want to take a quick moment to thank you, Professor Kamm, for everything that you have taught me not only in this class, but in portfolio management 2 semesters ago. And I have sincerely enjoyed being under your tutelage and hope that you continue teaching these class to students who may need it. Thank you again for a wonderful semester, and I hope you enjoy this presentation. And here's my works cited.